Okay, finding the art form for you. So this is going to be quite challenging because a lot of people, when they want to start creating art or they want to start writing songs, they realize, oh wait, I don't actually have a guitar. I don't have a way of actually playing. Okay, so I'm gonna go over some things that I would recommend if you are thinking about creating music or just going into like just to be arty, I guess, to be more of an arts person. Okay, so the very first thing, if you are unsure where to start at all, okay, and I guarantee that you will have the facilities to do so, especially if you're watching this video, okay, you'll probably have everything ready, okay, apart from one thing. But the first thing you're going to start off with is writing. Very simple, right? Just pen and paper. Don't write online, okay? If you write on pen and paper, it will actually make things, you might think it makes things harder, okay? But the thing is, when you write, you're going to take a lot more time. There's a lot more time where you're obviously just writing down the letters and it's going to take just much longer. But because of that, you're going to be able to develop those ideas more as you're writing. You realize, oh right, that's what I'm trying to say, right? And then more can be developed from it. You just stew in that idea longer as you're writing. Okay, but if you realize that you a lot of ideas come to you really quickly, then you can type it if you want. But I would just recommend writing it. Okay, that's what I would do. Write out a short story. Okay, just write it out, or poetry if you want. All right, that's art. Okay, and then I would recommend working on it as much as you can. Okay, whatever that is. Okay, if it is a short story, make it maybe 2, 3, 4 pages if you want. Okay, it's your choice. You can even research these kind of things if you want. It gets really, really exciting actually. Artwork, art in general is just an amazing hobby to have. All right, it can obviously become a business if you really want it to be, but it's an amazing way to express yourself. And if you really don't know where to start, I would start at writing, really, okay? Because it is a really good way into going into music, all right? If you're thinking about creating music and having lyrics in it, starting off with writing really sets you up well for music, especially because if you've had if you've had troubles writing before, then obviously being able to write individually, like, short stories, you're going to be able to develop how to speak in a sense. All right. And then you can transfer those skills into music. Okay. And then obviously you might not know, okay, I don't have a way of playing, right? Well, if you don't have any instruments with you, okay, and you don't plan on getting an instrument, that's fine, because you can use websites that actually play chords for you, to play the music for you. And you can choose what those chords can be, and you can always develop those ideas. And then once you actually do like, you know, the song, then you can work with other people. You can have them play the actual music and then you just sing. Just very simple, isn't it? So the website I would use is chord chord. That's the only one I know. All right, you can just put in random chords. You just press generate random chord, and then chord progression. Sorry, and then I'll just give you something. If you don't like the sound of it, then just don't sing to it. Then you can just keep changing it. Go with something that you like. Then just hum a melody to it. Then apply lyrics to it. It will be quite challenging. It's quite a jump, isn't it? But if you've gotten used to writing a bunch of short stories, then you can move on to this if you want. Okay, it's quite fun, but also, yeah, it's just quite fun. All right, songwriting is just an amazing way of expressing yourself. Learning an instrument itself is also really, really, really humbling. Okay, I would start off, if you can, with either a keyboard or piano. It is an amazing starter instrument to start off with, because it sets you up for other instruments. If you wanted to go on to violin, if you wanted to move on to clarinet, it makes things a lot easier. Okay, that'll probably be the best starter instrument in my opinion. You can go on to guitar if you really want to, but piano or keyboard is probably the best starter instrument. I might be a bit biased, but that's the truth. Especially if you want to create music as well, because you get MIDI keyboards, which is basically a mini version of a keyboard, and it's like tiny, but you can have it play anything. Whereas If you had that on a guitar, it wouldn't work. Okay, so yes, you've got short story writing or just writing. Okay, then you've got applying writing, if you want, into writing songs. Okay, there's a good transfer there. And then you can also learn an instrument if you want. You don't need to. Okay, now finally, for people who want to paint. Okay, now I have not had too much experience with painting, I won't lie, nor with sculpting. Okay, I don't think I'd be that good with sculpting, but with painting, I would recommend, especially if you're really, really anxious, watercolor. Okay, watercolor is extremely chaotic in its nature because it starts to spread everywhere and it's very difficult to control it. Okay, but if you're anxious, it is exactly that same thing. Being able to embrace the chaos within watercolor, okay, teaches you the exact same thing. To be able to embrace these kind of things, and let things kind of dry out, right? And then add layers to it. Be very careful, okay? And you take your time, and everything feels intentional. It is an amazing medium. It's very difficult, but it's so worth it. All right, I made a bunch of paintings. They weren't that great, but it felt really, really peaceful. I was able to spend hours, like 6 hours on one painting, and then I would work on that for multiple days. All right, I'd literally be sitting for 6 hours and still be working on that one painting. It is amazing. It is so worth it, and it's also quite cheap. Okay, that's the only thing that you'd have to pay for if you want to try this watercolor painting. If you're not too fond of watercolor, you can investigate other mediums, but watercolor is the only one that I would suggest, especially if you're quite an anxious person. I would say that I'm quite anxious. You can probably tell by somewhat of the way I speak, but watercolor has helped you to control that a bit more, right? I would recommend going into that if you like. Okay, so this video was about finding the art form for you. If you have any ideas for art forms or just like, ways of creating art, even like charcoal is so cool, but like, or like I've seen this one video where people were creating art with by breaking glass. That was amazing. But if you have any suggestions for videos or suggestions for art forms for other people, please put it down in the description. I want to be able to create a community where we are helping each other, helping artists. Okay, and I think it would be amazing. So if this video has helped you, please subscribe. And if I've really helped you in this video, you might want to check the description of this video because I also offer one-to-one coaching. And I will probably be able to help you a lot because obviously this has really helped you. And I have a massive catalog of like videos if you want to check out if you're unsure. But I do offer one-to-one coaching. It's your choice. No pressure if you don't want to do it. You can just still see all these other videos, okay? I hope I've helped you, and I will see you. No, wait, no, because I want to make you the musician of the future, the artist of the future, to make you the best you can be, to reach the highest potential that you can, okay? Because I believe that is what I'm here for you, all right? I will see you later. Bye-bye.